Never know whether we're actually. Right, so we're on a 4 minute delay. Um, and I'm terrible at streaming poker, so I'm just kind of just going to chill and not play any hands for the first 4 minutes until it goes live. Works as it should. Be good. Any luck? But who fucking knows? Waiting gets you a bit. Right, that's all on. Virgin setup. Locked off as well. We have bet sizes we like. Oh. I don't know. But it should. Going in under it officially. Gonna need to remember to round off 3 minutes. I think we're away. Doing this all from. Hello, everyone. Right. Should be us going then. Oh, cool. Right, I think we're there. Try and get the chat into it. Flying. Can't put it. Pop out chat. Guess that. Hey, don't matter. Right. Hello everyone. I am gonna get this going in a second. Right. 200 to do, mate. Awesome. 500 and L. See on that. There. And a waitlist on another. Right, let's dive in. It lets me. Might die now. Why won't you let me in? Take this back. Loop. Right. Okay, 10-5. This is heads up, isn't it? I maybe could float us versus this dude. I don't really know. Bit like that. Right, hello everyone. Sorry I'm fucking around. I'm just trying to get this all working appropriately. Now that it looks like it is. Pop out this. I don't recognize the screen name of this guy. I don't recognize much else. Gross one. There's no real purpose of this stream other than just like I'm going to play football later on. Trying to move my schedule to more evening. And therefore I've got a bit of time today, I think. Then I've got though. Call as well. I don't need to raise this. It's pretty clean. Close. If we have a flush. Manu, hello. First. Well done. Glad to have you on board, my friend. Good luck, good luck. Yeah, so there's no real purpose. As I say, I'm going to play footy later on. And because it's like 6:30 till 9 sort of time that I'm away, and I won't get home until like 9:45, that's going to be like prime time for me to play. Trying to shift the old schedule. But because I can't really play tonight, because I'll be shagged afterwards. And because there's a bit of poker running, 200 Zoom running in on Stars and 500 NL table, all of these things, I thought, do a little stream. And fun. So I don't know, we'll run it for however long I feel like running it for. Maybe like 4 hours or something. Defend it. Feels like a mix. And this feels sort of like a jam. You ever call queens in this spot? As we can. I think anyway. Maybe we'll get it in. Float here, I think. Kind of shit, but it's not the worst. Do let me know if everything's kind of working. See everything appropriately. Green. And then good. Half part. I guess just run it. Good luck to us. Versus this. 2. A bit borderline, this one. More than a bit borderline, actually. Good. Good, good, good. Am I going to jam this in? Yeah, some of the times, not always. Ah, good start, eh? Size down from Buddy there. Most stuff kind of wants to go a bit bigger than that. Bit of a value trick by the looks of things. The logic behind the raise is it's the problem. Maybe it is just a fold, actually. It's the first time I'm playing today, so maybe I'm just a little bit rusty. But it's kind of one of those where, like, we need to defend, like, a huge portion of our range here. And therefore, like, this feels very cuspy. And cuspy stuff, when we're going to raise quite aggressively, cuspy stuff is usually okay. There's bluff raises in position. And then on a river, we do need to obviously give up some stuff. We're still shoving a king. From 10 river, we get there a little bit. We don't need massive to give up, to be fair play to him. And I don't think we're really allowed to fold. We've still got quite a lot of air here. I don't think we can really be folding nines. Oh, either. Really well to start here. Hand doesn't really want to face anything bigger than blocks. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Really 10 out of 10 start. Well. The bluff raise. Good size to pick, but benefit. Bluff this. And what happened here with the queens? Well, we got it in good and then lost to my life. This is a very good river. I can value better queen, no problem. And play like doves as well. But I think most of my value better region goes this 3/4 size. Gonna bluff every bluff here pretty much. Very fine river. Got 2 500 tables. I'm just gonna stick it here for now. Raised. Yes. Don't play bet 3 bets. I don't know what we would. It's kind of a difficult one to figure out, isn't it? What about that? I said 200 zoom, but maybe keep this in the corner. What's the worst it can? Having a couple of 500 tables. Does it? I don't think I've ever done like a pure, like proper midday daytime stream. Obviously, I've only, like 4 streams ever anyway. Guess fold. Might not need to go that big here, actually. I think I can just about get away with some ace 10 here for this sort of medium size. It is pretty shitty, but not strictly the worst. Yeah, this 500 in L1 we'll just keep temporary for now. We'll either skip out one of the zooms or not. Now no spades. We have some great draws. I think it's not really top of my list. We do have some overs as well. We do need to find some shit, but it's not really top of my list. Well, it's pretty shitty hand at this point. It was kind of cut a lot. That's the nuts. I wouldn't just pile it. Oh, and the slow down. Same reason. Barrel it. Well, let's see if we can unstick ourselves. I like polarizing these ones a bit more. So we shall. Hello to you all if you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Stuff to talk about. Call the 8-5. Kind of shit, but I have some intention. Wasn't actually one of my intentions. Bet into check, wasn't worth it. Versus a range that checks the river. Worth loads. All again here. Really, really, really correct. Also a weird river. Haka Yaku 886. How many entries right now? 100 and 200 zoom. Valid question. 30 and 100 zoom. 29 and 200 zoom. Checking and winning, I guess. 4-7's a strong hand. Are you going to join us? Yeah, so sorry this table's small. It was just for a replayer, basically. But I got another seat on 500 NL, but I kind of want to keep the 200 zooms. I don't want it to be too slow. So it's just here for now until one of these dies. The game's quite good. A6 is really ridiculously whatever to defend. Rolled a 50-50, so I'll do it again. Low is aggressive, high is passive. That's the world's fastest check. I generally just want to go really big here. That, basically. A6. World's fastest turn check. Now, my hand's probably worth about that. Do that by either betting or checking. Don't think he has a lot of hands that reopen the actions. I'm going to kind of go betting here. What the fuck did you have? Kings. That's exactly the kind of hand that would snap check, flop and turn, and snap call the river, isn't it? Speed of play, I guess. Right, 8. Frequency defend versus this size in these positions, I reckon. Roll said frequency as a flop actually. Probably generally just gonna see more small. Low frequency, but fine. You're sort of any 2, I think we can get away with. 23 betting 3% of the time, I'm mad. With a diamond, it is not great, but it is going to be in there with devious intentions to bluff it off at some point, like if he checks. I think I have a tougher time facing D25 here. Question is, do we go with it pure? It's a weird turn, actually. I think I'm going to bet it. Hope get check called or check fold. Yeah, this is what basically it's one of these turns where everyone just fast plays, no one check calls kings. This is very indifferent. Buddy, that's quite a small size though. Super grim. I think we'll just go with it being indifferent. I'm going to bet the river. Hate this. Hate every spot at the minute. Although that means it's just weak as fuck size. Well, there might be some random air that bluffs. I might be wrong with that. I'm having a howler, by the way, to start here. I don't think I'm quite settled yet. No. A call. Always. Never going to raise this. Ornstein. Good luck. Thank you. I don't know how we win. Queen 6. Suppose that is a hand that can give up the river. We'll see one more. Good luck, Elmo. Thank you, Anil. The screen name is a lot of letters there, mate. So I'll go over now. Iaku want to but can't play on my region. Well, you can enjoy the stream instead, my friend. Okay. I mean, it's quite a good sizing scheme, this one. Can't really lead, unfortunately. Milked. Right, we're sufficiently caffeinated now. I'm settling in. Yeah, I would like to isolate you and play some pots, I think. And I want to do this. My hand's really shitty, but could blast it. Yeah, let's go bet a lot. Right, we're strapped in. You know when you play FIFA? Like with your mates, and then you go 2-0 down early doors, and then you're like, right, I'm going to start playing now. You lean forward and all that. That's how I feel currently. Threes is definitely a hand that can start with a flop over bet. Is my strategy here. And Jack 9 is a hand that can check, can bet, For a board, I can do whatever the fuck I want on, to be honest. I tend to just go B40. Just gotta be careful with frequencies here with the underpairs and stuff, so higher will just tap table, give up and hope it's a 3. Nearly was. Turn here, it's kind of the fast play hand. You can go really big here, actually, like pure 2E is really good, actually. Really, like, sort of semi-connected board, but there's not a lot of bad rivers. So fast play, this is very, actually, relatively close. It's not a spot where NDF applies, though, really, so... Oh. Andrew in the chat. Hello, mate. In the chat and in the... Oh, hope you don't mind me outing you, but we don't mind. I'm going to 3-bet you. And I'm going to just bluff it off with king high here. The elephant, good afternoon to you as well. Purple tag is purple liner. It is not. Only you would be so lucky. Yeah, I am going to bluff this, you know. I think this just gets through. I know it's a very pair-heavy range at this point, and I don't tend to like trying to bluff fish off pairs, but... You've activated the slow-mo to nerf me. It was something the AI recommended, so people don't spam the chat. I don't think I've ever had that, to be fair, but I turned it on because, you know, I'm a slave to the AI. Sixes will call. No, purple. It's more pink, I would say. It's a form of reg, right? All you really need to know. I tell you what. All I'm going to reveal in terms of the tag, because my tags are a bit different these days, is like purple, red, green. Are there any other colors? Purple, red, green, blue are all forms of reg. Yellow is recreational. Light blue, like this, is a form of reg. There's a dark blue, which is a VIP recreational, but yellow is basically recreational. I'm going to show this down. But yeah. Other than that, there will be no reveals in terms of the intricacies of the new tagging system. Matthew played a lot of fun hands versus him. And that's a very natural thing to do. See what our hand wants to do versus this guy, I reckon. Right, 3-2-2. Are we range betting? No. Therefore, Queen 10 makes quite a nice frequency check. Interesting thing about my size here. I guess predominantly small. There's not really hands that want to go for two. My hand's quite a natural check still, and now just show. Queen eye shows down for me. This recreation. In doubt, small bet, and we'll take it. We bet this dude. We face this. We have a bluff catcher. Ish. Obviously, load of king high. Gonna need to defend some queen eye. Very cautious. Raise from a recreational is very rarely strong in these spots, but I don't have a hand that can do anything about it. Bum, 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 bum. Right. The Mason. Free bet you. Hold the 9-6, I guess. Rage Reaper, good day, sir. To you. Hello to you all in the chat. I'll have a new tag. Everyone has a new tag. Well, newish. Is not that long ago, probably like a month or two ago. Redid my tagging system. But that's all we'll say on the matter. I'm going to play half pot really often here with the King High board because we do very well on it. Mr. Gold, shout out Mr. Gold. Lovely guy. Good player too. Purple. That is not purple. I'm sorry, right? Where's purple? Right. I'm gonna just do this. Hang on, I need to put it somewhere. Let me get out of these hands. If I said new tag, right? This is going to be very small on your screen, but that there, that is purple. See that, I guess? Green. I think it should have been on the screen, but that is purple. This is pink. All day long. I'm going to flat here with two weaker players in the blinds. This is pink. This is bright pink. Hot pink. What's my size here? I think the default's polarize. Sort of, so we'll go with that. Bit spooky. I don't think you're usually someone who 3x's, so it's a bit just strong hand because of the wreck. Alright, I have made a flush with a redraw to a straight flush. And what am I going to do about it? I'm going to size down. All this. I think we just play a lot of check. I mean, I could check my hand actually, but I keep betting. See, this is the VIP. Maybe it's a little bit. And suppose I can make a wheel. Oh, it's so crap though. What do you have, sir? I would love to see a non-overbet size here. Time bank, time bank, time bank, time bank, time bank. Okay. Right. Let me just fight the urge to snap. What are you saying you have? I mean, when you check the flop, this is kind of the reason. Pretty safe for an out. I'm pretty high in my range. Yeah, I guess. Good. Good, good, good. You know what? I'm jumping in. Ah. I think I had to see your screen name. But like every time we talk on YouTube, you have a different YouTube screen name. I'm going to free bet the ace 9. I'm going to free bet the ace queen. Hello, sir. How's your year been? Are we continuing the win rate and the volume from last year? The volume question. believe we're there or thereabouts. I don't think we're on track to increase the volume from last year just yet, but I have had a busy year. In terms of the win rate, first sort of quarter of the year was really good. The last few months have been less good because I've been running absolutely atrociously. August has been all right. We're kind of like slowly grinding our way out of it. But the year on the whole, not amazing in terms of results just yet. But plenty of time. I've had my downswing. Deck here. I say this as I'm losing every hand here currently, but but as always, provided YouTube doesn't age restrict that particular video, I'll do a results video at the end of the year. And we'll see where we're at. Bet check. Bet. Yeah, it's pretty clean one, this, I think. Like, relatively narrow range. Come on. I don't know, I'm not getting too much commentary and spiel there. I'm just kind of playing with vibes. But yeah, no, the year's been okay. Like a good year overall so far. I'm very happy. As I say, it's just been the last few months or so that I've just been absolutely blasted, and then a million bazillion buy-ins and thousands of dollars below EV. That sucks, but it's got to be sometimes. This annoyingly is a frequency defend, I believe. I would love to. This is close. Going to flick it in sometimes. Might be generally a pure fold. I kind of like having it. I'm also like, whenever my instincts say I have a fold in position, my instincts are usually wrong a little bit by a pip or two. So never mind. I try to actively defend a bit looser when I'm in position. It can be kind of counterintuitive at times. This is kind of why we defend it, to blast it off, to be honest. Really poor river. And this is where discipline is going to have to prevail, at least. We've got a lot of shit that's missed. We're not allowed to bluff very often, and where the calling button is, so have to be careful. But that's why it's in there, float to blast it off. A darkish pink. It's hot pink. Definitely pink, whichever way we look at it. Right, let's just bet small. And let's hold it. And let's 3-bet Mr. Matthew. I don't need these headphones in. I do that sometimes. I'm not listening to anything. We'll find some 3-bets with the 7s. Not huge amounts, but we'll get in the mix with it. This is Ian, who goes with the 4-bet, and I believe we just shrug and call pocket pairs here. Good jam if we think he's getting out of line with it, but yeah. I've seen better flops than that, to be honest. I'm an Omnius guy with a lot of YouTube accounts. Oh, God. What a stupid spot this is. I now kind of need to defend this. Do I? I mean, what good is going to happen? If I have to overfold there by folding sevens with a diamond, then I'm all right with it, you know. I can't really see a line where that goes well for me. This is not a size I would expect to see on this board. Fucking close. I guess with a 3-card straight, we can defend. It is close. It's too much of a brick to have a leading range, but we're going to be calling turn a lot now as well. Again, it's going to be close. Fuck. We get 39%. And the river, almost a bluff. It is almost a bluff, actually. I think it's just about fine to show down in it. It's going to go small here and check a lot. Yeah, that seems passive. Bet. And we're just going to call down. And here, annoyingly, that's quite a good river for your bluffs. Raise you. Raise. Rat masses. I think we're probably going to shrug and call sometimes here. I mean, I'm okay with that. And yeah, just give him rope. Not folding. I might donk jam now, actually. Yeah, I kind of just want to stack his value, if he does have value. Priced alive. Okay. Are you going to be at the Hippo on Friday? I'm not, unfortunately. I've got social commitments. We have some friends over from the States. The guy who actually married me and my wife coming with his fiance, who's Zoe's best mate and was her maid of honor. So yeah, busy. Fortunately, I mean, it is a check sometimes. What bad things are going to happen by checking versus a nitty recreational? Turning the nuts is good. Pretty sucky one over here, isn't it? But this is why we do what we do. We just call down. I mean, on this river, it was just in case he's got like ace-9 off suit or something that always checks. We're only shoving the river for fucking no money, so well. Good check as well, it's not. They're just always losing. Versus the cutoff, I don't think we have a frequency for that. I think the King X tends to become frequency free bets versus earlier positions. Going to 4-bet the ace-10 some of the time. E25 relatively often seems fine. I do play 4-bet jams, so we do have less ace-king and do therefore need to be a bit more cautious with our c-bets, I think. And we're basically always going broke Could bet the turn, could check the turn. I think just do it quite linearly. Alright. The line here is just check call, really. We're not doing much else. This one will frequency bet. It's not a great board. Not a great hand. So whatever as a bet. Might just check it. My frequency is not very high. My hand's worth a stack. Ish. We could block call. Could check call. Go block call. Block call. Yeah, it's kind of close, annoyingly, but if we do face the jam, yeah, I think we just kind of have to shrug an ace at this point. We're just too high up. But let me double check. Yeah, I think if we have an ace in our hand, we kind of just have to do this, so. Kind of the same if you check, if we check call the turn and then we just check station the river. It's probably the hand's a little bit bigger of a pot than we'd ideally want it to be, but not by much. So today might be the day we're just going to have to Rustuco the life out of the session. I'm getting pumped at the minute, but hey ho. Good one to show you boys, to be honest. Don't always see the really good sessions, I guess. That's B25 here, stacking off. Some point, just kind of a fast play hand. Jack 2's really close. Still just a fast play hand. A lot of his 10x of hearts goes in on the flop. A lot of his 10x goes in on the flop anyway. Check, get like a 7 of hearts river, and then face a shove becomes a bit gross. And maybe we can definitely check. I think with a heart, prioritize that, but just keep betting here and still stacking off. Still looking to try and stack a 6 or 8 or jacks that didn't go in on the flop or something. It becoming thin. And yeah, hope we haven't been trapped really, but trying to get called here by Jack still. King X of hearts that takes this line that might do every now and again. It is, as I say, relatively thin, but aces is still just a shove here for 2/3 left. Good to actually win a hand. And that's been me recently, Rex having a better hand, yeah. Feel your pain. So good, it's early doors. I don't love facing this size from a rack. I think I'm actually just going to flat. I don't really want a 3-bet. But I would still like to play the hand. When he goes this size as well, there's not a massive risk of getting squeezed. Let's start stabbing, blasting sometimes. Would you ever consider coaching from a worse player than you, the green tag guy? Feels kind of counterintuitive if someone's worse and you're paying them money for coaching, but... Fives is a frequency defend, I guess. Who's to say they're worse, though, eh? Just check fold, I guess, on the flop here. Nothing to be done with the fives. I call for our ace queen on the 500 and L tail versus Dino. Probably just a fold versus the size we'd expect to face. Sort of very 2/3, 3/4, whatever seems good here as a probe size. I'm gonna throw in a bit of check on the turn here as well. Holding an ace, I don't know what you got, but and that's not a overly amazing river. Got a lot of potential bluffs here, so give it up. We might have some showdown as well. Might have a catcher actually. There's some pot on the 10 river. We love it. We could catch this hand. We don't need to catch a lot of ace high, but we do need to catch some of it, I think, and it's a pretty okay candidate, I think. Some raise maybe as well. With the ace 8. Yeah, probably do need to catch some stuff here as well, actually. Fall and lose everywhere, but fine. The ace 8 seems okay when there's there is quite a lot of natural miss. I expect him to bluff ace jack. Kings is kind of a strange hand to check the flop with, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that just bets the vast majority of the time, but alright. Hold 4 bets the ace king and get this in if he jams. Look a board for us overall, really. I think if we do 25%, it's never the worst. Not like if I have queens, I'm massively concerned and need to make it a 2-street game on this board. Kings. And we are going to size up the turn if we do bluff, but it's unlikely. I'm going to blast literally every single ace-king combo. Table in a depth, so we can have this for the replayer. Facing a B25 will be pretty indifferent on the turn, but probably will need to defend some of it. Do we have a bluff raise? Unlikely. Yeah, so no, I mean it should be really polar. We've gone 25 on the flop, so he's going to float with like a lot of overcards that we dominate. Obviously shit, but we're in there. Not going to need to defend the river an awful lot here. We'll B40 pretty often. A replayer here now. Look at that. I value bet. Why not? I can min bet here. Lots of ace high that struggle. Everybody shows jacks here. Seems like a relatively straightforward way of playing the hand. I think I'll just simplify and range check the mono board here. In fairness, there's a bunch of worse players than me. But yeah, always valid. Not that, as I say, I wouldn't pay anyone worse than me for coaching, but it's not like I don't listen to people who I might perceive as not as good as me. I guess if we raise, it's very infrequent. Hand's just very natural check call, I guess. We ain't going to be folding the turn. And we're not going to be doing a lot of folding on the river now then. There's an abundance of like under pairs here. The heart that could be in there. It's obviously worth an overbet. Overbet, to be honest. Or block free bet. I don't expect him to raise a lot, so I think just overbet's good. Pick a lot with the jacks. Facing raise would be interesting, but not happen this time. Graceful as well. Problem with jacks here is we literally can't improve. You're just going to prioritize hands that can improve more. Yeah, so actually just fold. And with the king jack, we stab a lot. Kind of like half pot, but we're not stabbing my hand that much. Sizing. Half pot's actually quite good again. Find it this time. I'm going to. I get an amazing price, but we are proceeding with the biggest amount of caution you've ever seen in your life here with King 9. Guy is very tight. Fold the flop. Generally, no. But again, there's no more money. This is about the max of the amount of money that I want to put in. This will be quite a lot of strong shit. A good turn to bluff on. So it's a case of like, do I get him to fold like ace king at some point? Not size pre, I would expect a lot of ace king from, but. Polar or D-polar here? I think more D-polar is not bad. It's difficult to defend those suited broadways. Ace 10's going to check this time. Natural check on the turn as well. I can't see a reason for betting here. And I mean, again, our range is going to be very ace high heavy. Okay, we can just show down. Be cool with a queen 9. It's obviously pretty shit at this point. We'll see another. Being able to improve is good come the river. Yeah, so, I mean, if we had something like King Queen, we genuinely, I think, would just fold. But the fact that we got Queen 9 and we can improve is rather good. See you on the river. And we blocked 9-6. We blocked Jack 9. We blocked Queen 10. I mean, it's, as far as catches go, it's not bad. But we also have a very strong range. So we can be very cautious with our catches versus shove. The issue is we've rolled low. And we're going to need to defend some catches sometimes. And it feels to me like about the nuttiest of nutty catches I could have. So I'm going to pay this man his money. I'm going to lose again. I am going to defend the ace. I'm more than happy to die on this hill. As I say, we block 9-6. We block Jack 9. We block Queen 10. We have to defend some catches sometimes, even though our range overall is very strong. We don't need to defend our catches very often, but it's about as clean of a catcher as I could have hoped for. So, and we RNG'd it, so I'm very, very happy with my decision. I am less happy with the result. Because I am continuing to lose stacks at an unprecedented rate, but sleep will not be lost. I'm gonna just check here and then call a lot. The VIP. We are deviating here a lot by calling, but I'm very happy to do so. This guy is hunting it off a lot. Good river overall. No masses of money to go in, but fold isn't really going to be in my repertoire too much here. Pot, we kind of just snap. Fair play. Versus that, we will be folding. At least we're losing stacks at 200 NL and not higher, eh? Right, we're going to 3-bet the 10s. Frequency call the ace 3, like it is like the tiniest of frequencies, but it'll be horrendous. Gonna give it about 5 minutes and then just go make a nice lemon and ginger tea, I think. 6-2 min raise, and the fact it's a recreational and we're not dominated by much, I'm alright with. 49 of you in the chat. Hello, everyone. Right, very tight guy. Start with a check. And bluff this off now, you know. Let's go after all those under pairs. Don't need to now. Close. Gonna, like, on this low roll, find a frequency raise here. Like, on these, like, super lockdown boards, you can just raise small. You can raise a whole host of dog shit. When we raise this small, we can bet small again for protection from all the ace highs in terms of value. Not the worst thing in the world with 10-9. It's not the best thing in the world either. We're just going to kind of frequency it a little bit, but like we're dominated a lot basically. So if I bet small on the turn here, like, I'm just going to fold him off Jack 10, Queen 10, Ace 10, and so on. And I can very much build that size though around like having a pocket fours kind of hand, and that's not going to be the worst thing in the world. Could check this hand. I think I will check this hand sometime. Big size here, ace queen, like frequency play seems good. Mainly a check. Very poor turn overall, not gonna lie. You have a potential candidate to barrel, but this one's a very natural looking check to me. Andrew, can't fold nut catchers versus Mason would be absurd. Well, we've got a really strong range, so I mean, it depends how much you want to overcall. Like, I'm not trying to actively overcall there, to be honest, but and just that's a horrific river as well, isn't it? We're just gonna check and give up. Check for a bit of info here versus this super tight guy, but just got to be very careful from versus someone like not free betting a lot. They'll hit this ball quite hard. And yeah, ace queen, nothing to be done after the flop. I mean, we could argue for barreling the turn as a bluff. It's not the worst. Not like it's pure. The river is one of the worst rivers in the deck, so. I don't know how we win. I mean, he must specifically have ace jack of clubs, but. Of hearts. I think you still got a bluff there. Could be wrong. Happy to win one. Bloody hell. Kind of why you can frequency bet the flop as well with ace queen here. Like, you will get caught by worse. You will fold out some better. Here's a hand that will have decent equity across a lot of turn cards. You don't always just want to fill the checking range on the flop here with ace high, even though it's hard not to. It is going to be very ace high heavy when you like go into a check-in line here, but some of it is going to need to go elsewhere. 9 folds. Jack 5 also folds a lot. This is half there, I think. Right, it's going to sit out I'll set out next big blind here, because this guy's like a semi-recreational, basically. So it's no, I mean, the stream says 200 zoom, so we'll play 200 zoom. I am actively as well trying to table select a little bit better at the moment in time. So not just going to reg battle it up when I don't necessarily have to. Plus, there's a million entries in this Zoom pool, isn't there? 37 of us, lovely. For the purposes of stream, I'm okay with it. Bit of a stuckering to do for the rest of the day, but I can play up till about 6 o'clock today, so I might depend how fresh I feel in a few hours. Might change my t-shirt for something good. Oh, blimey. All right, 10-7 versus Mr. Bot 35. Hello, sir. Someone who traditionally will play higher stakes than 200 NL, I'll say that much. On the turn, our hand is pretty shitty. Even though it has a gut shot, that's the worst turn in a deck, of course. We have a lot of natural draws. We're doing a lot of checking. No need to put in money with this shittier hand. Hope it goes check, check, and river a 9. 6 isn't bad. We do block the 6x as well. 7-6. Feels like a pretty clean bluff combo at this point. So we want to go really big when we have a 6. I don't really want to bet a jack too much either. I think we're just going to go really big. Time here. We're going to find a little bit of check here with the Queen Jack on 99. Not a range bet. We're going to play big bets as well. So. Yeah, we do have a lot of 6x here. We have a nice little blocker to 7-6, which is a very credible hand to go into this line. We don't have masses of pure bluffs to pick from. We do have plenty, but fine call-ish. Right, let's do that. Queen Jack looks sort of fast play at this point. Bad turn though. I think 75. Usually if it was like an offsuit 8, I would go pot, but I think with this, when it's a bit more connected, sizing down a bit more makes sense. Right, I'm just going to set our next hand just because I'm going to go make a key. And then I'll be back. That's 3 bet. Queens. My hand's worth, like, I want to play a lot of block here, but my hand's like really comfortable as a check. I don't really want to play much big size, so I'm kind of happy just like check, call, or check, check, and then play bets, even some check raises. And now our hand's worth a big bet. I think if we block, not really a massive need to block snap. I think just kind of shrugging over bet here is pretty good. All right, I'll play the 10-9. Celebrity Not. I can just tell you against those guys, Mason, Lana, River Guy just fold because they always have it. Didn't see them bluff ever in their life. Super stains. You should chat to the blogger above you because he says that Mason, you shouldn't fold nut catchers. It's kind of fun, isn't it, to see differing player profiles and reads? Because you're saying Mason never bluffs and Andrew's saying Mason always bluffs. Who's right, who's wrong? You can talk to each other. Magnifique, what are the bottom numbers on your HUD? They are 3-bet, 4-bet after raising, and fold to 4-bet. Nothing too extravagant. Right, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Right. Welcome back. We're down many buy-ins so far after an hour and a bit. So let's make this 3 tables now then, as soon as we don't have any 500. So Operation Restucco is in effect. We'll start with Ace King. Ace and a heart seems whatever. Don't really like these spots after you polarize the flop. Okay. When people overprotect turn, feels hard to get fold, so much better. Trust him. Not to mention ace queen offers like weird for you to have, others don't really have it. Yeah, I suppose. This we need some check. We can bet some ace king, seems alright. Also it can bet turn. I'm bluffing against frequency, but I hand. I'm just gonna pure me on the yeah. Fair enough. So, we do get raised. That's not what we wanted to see. We are going to need to defend sometimes, is my logic here. Not masses, but sometimes. It is one of the better turns. However, if we face an overbet, which is what I'd expect to see, we don't like it. We very much don't like it. We could fold the turn. In all honesty, it becomes really grim. We've rolled low. We are not going to be folding the turn, but we really, really, really don't like this. We do like the river. We very much do enjoy that river. So we should just see get away with block. I'm going to put this in the delay and then bluff it off sometimes. He does block. We're just all in. Good luck. Hope you don't have quads. Or king 6. That would suck as well, but I suppose you can't really have king 6. King 6 of clubs? Maybe. Who knows? All in. What you got? Not going to bluff it this time. Still going to bluff some rivers here. Right. That was a good run out. We're back. This bet so often on this board, annoyingly. It's not really a hand that has a massive amount of great prospects here, but I can just about get away with it every now and again. Do I bluff it? I think at this point I can show this down. I am, like, if the river's a 10, then I just bluff 2s here, but I think we can show this down otherwise. That looks like a pretty clear-cut bluff to me, but hey-ho. And then this turn we can play some block, we can play some bigger bets. My hand's dog shit, so not going to do anything. We can block like bluffs and jack 10, that seems alright. $49, 200 Zoom entries, eh? Middle of a day on a Wednesday. Wednesday is meant to be the quietest day as well, eh? Here we are. Ah, Mr. Nick. Hello, mate. I remember meeting you in Vegas with Gaz once, and you were playing some like stud event or something very Vegas. I remember shaking your hand, but you'd literally just got like some horrendous beat, and you were really steaming afterwards, which was yeah, very disappointing to see. From I have to frequency. Hang on a minute. Let me just run these hands. This shouldn't really happen. I think I've got a note on you for something like this, but I'll see a turn. And I'll stab the flop sometimes. Yes, I'll come back to that, Nick. This, again, oh, I mean, ball's never bad. And then we bluff. Yeah. Jack 7. We'll see. King 6 goes to showdown now. Now we, yeah, bluff this. We have straight mainly, not much else. Straights are still worth quite a lot of money. Rivered boats and stuff, but yeah, I guess this is fine. And here we just snap and move on. Here we just check and move on. That is great. That's a nice hand. Yeah, you were playing some stud event or whatever, Nick, and then yeah, you got this horrendous bad beat, and you were pretty steamed afterwards, and we just shook hands and said hello briefly. But Gaz has always told me lots about you, and I played lots with, well, not lots, but like a fair bit online against you a lot, and I know. Here I am 3-betting you, but I know. I've only ever heard good things. What do I think of the game quality online? What's the meme? Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. I think I'm realizing, like, for me, I need to time select. So like, I'm really trying hard. I know this is the middle of a day on a Wednesday, but it's because I'm playing football later. But I'm really trying hard to time select more lately. Can I defend this? Probably not. Like evenings UK time are generally pretty good. Daytimes are really shit. And I've done a lot of work on like looking at my win rates from time of day, and like it's almost not worth me playing at this time of the day, really. But here I am. But just it's obviously just for the purposes of streaming. But yeah, it can still be very good. The level's obviously higher than it used to be, but you just got to be better than everyone else, I guess, would be my general vibe. Ace Queen's mainly calling, King Jack's frequency 3-betting. In real, I missed you, Simon. Thank you so much. Any hand of note in the time? King 6. Yeah, King 6 is really whatever. Right, I feel like pot check here is pretty good. My hand can comfortably check calls, so I don't mind doing a bit of both. I'm gonna check, see what this guy does, and then we'll look to do shit. Here we're gonna play b40 and bet King Queen 10 a non-zero amount of the time. And yeah, we are going to check call the ace queen, and I'm going to check call here and then just kind of proceed with caution. And now generally we will get to lead some jack X here. Going to lead ace queen all that much. Hold to 6-5 now. I don't know if this guy was just away from his keyboard or if he had a decision that would, cause him to take 34 seconds. We want to play really big here, so I think we'll just always check this. Here we have a catcher, flash bluff raise candidate. And because we check call the medium size, we don't really need to defend ace high over here, so fold in. Value bet 2/3, 3/4 here. And we will bet and up. And Mr. Leandro, 0 fishes at the tables, ... ego. Buddy, I'm streaming 200 zoom, and that's a fish. There's no ego involved. I'm just sitting down and playing what's available, bud. Just go on. Just for your benefit, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 recreationals in the pool as it stands. So, I mean, yeah, could it be better? Of course, but I can assure you it's not an ego stream. These are also not my main game, so But think what you will. Nick, what was that this year? No, it was last year. 2025 it was. I didn't go this year. I got married. But mate, if you feel free to add me on Discord. I would love to pick your brain from time to time. You would feel so inclined. Oh, we have a good hand. Right, queens, we're going to check. I like to play polarized here. And if we're going to polarize, then checking sets is really good. Quite an annoying turn. Generally, we want to play a lot of check again. Our hand is like very, very devalued, obviously. Our hand can obviously comfortably check call. Could even check raise. It's now kind of one of these almost fast play hands, but we do need to check a lot, so throw it in. Might be check raising. Good river. So we want to get the maximum king. So block is good. Check is also good. Gonna block on this roll. Get him to raise a king and then go with a jam. Turn a straight here, and I generally like depolarizing here, so I'm just gonna go with that. My kind of one size. Cheating a little bit, but always good. What did you have? 10 on the river. Hand is a little bit devalued. So we could go for the check raise, or we could just go really big. Hand's worth about that. Good block as well, get him a raise at 10. I really want big sizes here. I'm going to block again, actually. And then I'm going to block 3-bet. On all in. Here on the jack high board, 7 or whatever. I'm going to go the easy option of calling. So this gets him to call some ace highs, gets him to call the pairs, gets him to raise a 10, and then we 3-bet. Gets him to bluff. Overcards and ace highs as well. Bet flop check turn. I think our hand's just worth a block here. It's right at the bottom end of it, but go with it. Here we'll play 2/3, 3/4, whatever, and we will play a mix of bet and check, and we'll bet this time. Get raised, which sucks because now the pot is too big for what my hand is worth. Annoyingly, just gonna roll a fold here. I'm very okay with it. Ace queen on the turn. Gonna keep going 3/4 if we do bet. Not a terrible one to bet check, actually. A lot of natural stuff here. Yeah, I think bet check's fine. Here we'll polarize and just always check. Here, too high to bluff, so down. Go down for plenty. I'm gonna go rather large. I'm gonna go nice around 20 big blinds here with the kings. Get snap called, which is good. I'm going to pile the money in rather swiftly here, so we'll go half pot. Then probably like a lot of half pot again. Here with the king queen, we'll mix in check. Here with the ace 4, we're not folding just yet. So obviously this sucks already. Nut king high. Definitely a delay c-bet candidate because the ace is very good for us. Just going to go small size here. Can double check an ace a lot here, so plan is to check and then bluff some rivers, but now we'll just show down. We now have a frequency defend here with ace 4. Just roll the frequency. And we have a catcher versus shove. Good news is there's a lot of natural bluffs. Facing shove, we might want to defend some of this. Probably do unblock, like we block a lot of value. Weird size. Yeah, roll the call. My range here doesn't contain masses of flushes either. It does contain a lot of ace-x. And I think ace-x with a spade that just purely unblocks all the queen tens of the world. Probably fine as a call. But like I just have catchers, keep calling and losing here, but I'm pretty happy with it. We have a catcher. We do need to defend quite a lot of our range. We unblock all of the bluffs. We block some value. We get punished. But again, super happy with this. Eights. I think just go heart heavy and fold everything else is okay here with these formations. But yeah, everything lines up here, like in terms of a theory call. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know why he doesn't shove, but hand's worth that. 10-5 will just call. 10s will just kind of pure check. But in terms of a bluff catcher, it's a pretty good one. We do have to defend some of the ones, so yeah. Just going to bet small here, see what this guy does. And here we'll play overbets. Don't really need to carve out small size here. Kind of a one street hand. Bet the river. Snap it off. Yeah, I don't know why you would pick that size flush. I suppose it's like protecting that size if you think I'm going to like min raise him all in, I suppose. I don't really think that's going to happen, but your hand's just worth all in. Why not go all in? My logic. Mr. Jack Oliver. All of the good guys in the pool today. Jack famously came third in the World Series of Poker main event a few years ago. An all-round very good guy, very funny guy as well, actually. Played a little bit of live before with Jack, and very, very fun to play with. Good for the game. Not in like a, you know, he's a whopper and does it off or anything like that. Just kind of a good guy to be sat playing live poker with. Will always give you good chat. Very dry sense of humour. Kings we will mainly 4-bet. Ace Queen we will pretty much pure 4-bet, I think. And Ace Queen we will mix bet and check. Gonna check this time. Not an amazing board overall, so I do have to be a little bit cautious. It's definitely not like a free street hand. It's a below average turn. Snap check though is good. Versus snap check, I think our hand just immediately improves. I think we'll go like block and then medium. Seems pretty good. We're still playing loads of check here in general. Like, not a lot of bad things that are going to happen. Right, ace queen on a pure call. Okay. Pretty rapid B25. Usually people really overdo the C bet in here, to be honest. Plays fine as a call. We improve a little bit on the turn. It's a check. I kind of just think it's the fast play hand, really. If we're going to check some ace-x of diamonds, like ace-10 of diamonds seems like a pretty good one to do a lot of checking with this one. And bet this on the turn and jam rivers unimproved, so fast play it. The queens, do we need to go that big? In between, this guy's short. Back off. A bit of a lull in the action. Spent a lot of yesterday daytime updating my website, so here's a plug. You can go on there. I've started writing some like blog posts basically, which I think suits me. Like, I tend to like to try to do instructive posts on Instagram and so on because I do coaching and produce videos for Run It Once and stuff like that. And I think generally something suits me. So, but Instagram tends to be sort of more shorter content if you want. So, but I like writing; it's quite therapeutic at times. So I thought I'd stick some blog posts onto the website, so you can click the link in the description, go and read them if you so wish. There's details about me. There's a graph on there. There's some coaching stuff on there. Free to go take a look in your spare time. I won't really be producing many videos on YouTube anymore. Because everything tends to just get age restricted in this day and age, which is really shit for that. So you might see me do it. You know, I did doing a stream now, obviously on a bit of a whim. Which is quite enjoyable to do. But yeah, if you're a person with a Run It Once account, you can see some coaching videos on there with the elite subscription if you want to see some shit. So you can follow me on the socials. There's my plug. So we're gonna play overbets here, and ace queen is a hand that definitely wants to check. We just need to do a lot of checking basically, but start with an overbet pretty comfortably as well. Yeah, so I think the 3 blog posts I've done so far, kind of one on a little bit of mindset and downswings, one on kind of like talking about online cash actually this year. It's still beatable, and then one a little bit more technical on kind of just chilling out and playing good stuff and watching the EV roll in, which is kind of been a mantra I've been thinking about a lot lately. You go through a little bit of a tough stretch for a few months, obviously you start to question stuff. Yeah, I kind of wrote about it. Like, my immediate instinct is to want to change something. I have to fight that a little bit. So I've kind of got to a nice point mentally where I'm not doing that. And I'm just kind of going, understanding a little bit more where my edge comes from and appealing to that a little bit more than trying to force the issue. At 8-6, we will always defend. Do you have a check raise candidate here every now and again? Eight, 6, 8, 7. Yeah, I think like low frequency check raise is fine. Under 25. And on the turn, mainly going to be folding versus big bets. Size. Most of your range wants to overbet here, so I'm kind of unsure how to take this. It's quite quick as well, so is it just kind of mid-strength? Who knows, but hand is a pretty clean, excuse me, hand to call again. My outs are relatively clean, unblock a lot of the bluffs. Very close. Yeah, I think Arveng's alright. This is a board I would say most people will overdo the C betting on, but King kind of just a call hand. Shrug and call, and then on the river, get a little bit more dicey. 2-2. Not doing masses of bet here on such a lockdown board. B25 throwing some king queen in is pretty good. Sucks so much. We do obviously make a flush sometimes. We do have some slow play trips. We do have a lot of kind of like pocket fives kind of hands that do call here. Again, like with catches, like King 2 does a pretty okay job of unblocking bluffs. And we've rolled super duper low. And we are going to need to defend our catches sometimes. It's a pretty appealing river to bluff on. All of the above. So, yeah, I think we're going to frequency call this. My word, we've been shown a bluff. Kind of autopilot this one down here, actually. Not that I think it's overly appealing barrel, because it's not, but don't do a lot of betting yet. The problem. Yeah, I'm okay checking. Mr. Hard 750, average 200 NL on stars now versus 1 year ago in terms of skill. Kind of the same. There's been a massive leap in terms of people getting that much better at the game, to be honest. There's different regs now than there was a year ago, but I don't think anyone's substantially better at the end of the day. I think it's kind of just similar. The average now between maybe 4 or 5 years ago is definitely considerably different, but I think time tends to move a little bit slower. The kind of player pool's increasing, but you know, as I say, people are getting better. So they should, and you know, we've got all the tools available to get better at the end of the day. Now more than ever, I would say. Doesn't put me off playing though. Like, you just got to be better than the average, and you'll do okay. Gonna bet the queens. Above average turn. Getting snap called is also rather fun. As a turn I get to be pretty aggressive on overall. I wonder actually, do I check ever? Rolled this number. It's a straight completer. The thing is, snap call shouldn't be Jack 10, really, ever. I think, you know, in theory we might mix in some check, but I think this is a snap call. I just keep betting. I'm just going to bet that sort of size here. Can obviously follow through some rivers at this point. That value. Lua. That reminds me of Lomana Lua, who used to play for Portsmouth. He was a striker. Someone grinding the Zoom games on stars. Nice. How was the 200 Zoom pull? All right, mate. Yeah. All right. Like, 1 recreational, 2 recreational, 1 very recreational. That's not terrible, is it? middle of the day on a Wednesday, there's 53 entries. I mean, it's not terrible. Can be pretty temperamental in terms of timings and in terms of how many recreationals are in the pool, but you're always going to get recreationals in the pool. Some regs are, of course, better than others, but, you know, the rake is low compared to other sites. Software works, all of these things. Like, it's not the worst. It isn't. And it's easy just to get loads of hands in. I'm going to play overbet check here. I'm going to throw in a bit of ace queen. Fine hand to check back as well. Fine hand to bet. Don't have a strong preference either way. Yeah, it's very nice, mate. It's very nice. I would like 500 to run a little bit more. Though, as I say, I'm not reg battling as much at the moment. And you think you need to kind of get that pool going a bit more. But I kind of just have to take my medicine a little bit and just play in better games more often just to elevate myself out of the last few months. I'm going to bet the turn every now and again with the ace queen, medium size. Still have a lot of jack X in my range. 9-7 feels like a frequency defend sort of bad board for my hand. No leads here because it's got a very polar range. So like if he's got jack 8 offsuit, king 6 offsuit, and so on, like he makes pairs a lot. Could raise, could call, everything's fine versus half pot. Call and lead could be a thing we look to employ in some turn cards. Not being one of them. So we're kind of going check, check. Be pretty indifferent. It goes check, then a lot of block, I think. But yeah, never fold in the turn. Not a bluff jam. I guess bluff jam something like 7-6. Maybe some 9-7, 9-8. You could throw that in as well. We don't need to play masses of jam, to be honest. So yeah, just kind of shrug and call. And we'll see. We're going to be pretty indifferent at this point. Jacks again. So we block 7-8. We block obviously ace 9 plus. I've rolled a call with a catcher again. Just checking here. So I guess we have to call. Let me just think about this. I don't have a lot of jack X in my range. I don't have a lot of... I have traps, of course. I don't have a lot of pure fold. But again, in terms of a catcher, it's kind of... It really is just 0 EV. I block some bluffs. I block some value. Gotta call the catcher sometimes. Like, we need to defend, you know, 60% of our range, give or take. So, again, I'm going to call because I've RNG'd it. Yeah. Maybe we'll RNG some folds when people have bluffs next time. Who knows? Hello. I don't know how to pronounce that because it's all in Russian. Maxim. I'm going to say Maxim. Sounds that as well, doesn't it? What do the color labels mean? We basically, mate, I think I touched on this about an hour ago, but if you see yellow or like a bright blue, that is going to be a recreational. And if you see kind of a red, a pink, a green, or a lighter blue, that's going to be a reg. That's all I'm willing to tell you. Just because all the player tags are kind of specific to reads and player profiles and so on. So without wanting to reveal, so-and-so is an absolute punter or whatever to the world, I'll just tell you that it means some kind of reg, basically. King Jack, yeah, just shrug and call. Lose a stack again. who are the best regs in this pool right now? In my opinion, the question. Mr. Gold's very good. I know him, speak to him a fair bit. Kroger down here doesn't really play 200 NL, but I also rate him. I think he plays like a lot of 500 and 1K. Gonna mix between Raise and Call here and just control a call. Nick Marchington, who's been in the chat previously, is extremely tough to play against, so he'll be very good. There's 3. Yeah, just kind of have to stack off now. The King Jack. I think on this turn, there's a lot of rivers I don't like as well, so we kind of just have to shut our eyes. We lose a lot, but you kind of just have to run it. Oh, snap is nice. Much success. Well done. We've got it in good. No, we haven't. Why have you not snapped, Marcus? Fuck's sake. Okay. Oh, no, I even called it. Oh, we've got it in good. No, we don't. Oh, no. Oh, dear. I'm getting pumped, by the way. Like, I'm getting absolutely, like, 10 out of 10 pumped. Strap in, boys. We're going to be playing till 6 p.m. It's now only 2:15. Having fun, though. But very annoyingly very standard stuff with the King Jack. Apart from the tank. Apart from the tank call. Maybe it was just a tank to throw something at me, but yeah, stack off ranges at this point. Got a deny from the ace-x. If he has king 10, he has to bet call all of this, so obviously it sucks. We lose a lot. But again, you kind of just have to shrug and lose the money. And yeah, with the 9-7 all the way back here. As I say, it's just a catcher on the river. Like, there's many natural bluffs. We block maybe some of them, but we also block value. Like, as far as catches go, it's not a bad one. We rolled the RNG, so like always going to beat. King 9-5, we can play like a decent wedge of bet. Now our hand's not great, but a low frequency going in here, picking up some equity and barreling, or going bet check bet. Need a lot of check on this board overall, but I think our hand can bet. Doesn't really care about getting check raised because it's fold. The 4 on the turn, jacks, too good off to get to value bet. Guys, I've got aces, and I'm going to be 4-betting this time. This sucks. I think I can call. Relatively okay. Like the 5 out pairs versus B70 should be alright. It's pretty minging, but it'll be alright-ish. Live. Jack's going to play 4-bet sometimes, call sometimes. That's going to be call. Aces, we just get the fold because we actually have a good hand. Right, so we should see big sizes. We do see a big size. I can raise Because I have a vulnerable value hand. So like a min raise actually does work here. And it's basically the hand you would build it around, like queens and jacks here, stacking 10s and 9x. So again, you can obviously call and roll below 50 and find the min raise, get it in. The best. Fold. Bluffs here, I mean, just pick stuff that's relatively indifferent versus the bet, like ace queen off, I guess, or maybe like a king 10 suit. It's gonna be fine. Can we hold? Ah, there we go. Right, we got one. Yeah, it's one of those jams that on the surface of it looks pretty mental, but when you consider the board texture, like there's not really natural bluff jams there, so Mr. Gold here is gonna have 2 overs, like he does. A non-zero amount at a time, like it doesn't feel like the worst one. Maybe you want to pick something a bit better. I don't know, like an ace 4 might be a touch better. Maybe you even go something like a jack 10 of hearts. Pretty hard to find the bluffs there, I would say. You just kind of want to have equity versus the calling range. Like I'm never raising a set, so it's always like, you know, my value region here is very narrow. So pick stuff that has equity. Kind of hand that I have isn't bad. This is a good board. That's interesting. Checking what I want to do here. I don't want to bet a lot. I think pot. And yeah, I can bet my hand. King 3 feels very close. No option feels good, but we do have some backdoors and potentially some showdown. Ooh, it is minging. This is one of these uncomfortable defends that could be a pure fold. Could just be a pure fold. I have to check this one. Right, I'm going to need to win like about 8 buy-ins to resurrect this session, so come on, the boys. Easy fold now, annoyingly. Kind of just like calling for, like, you know, where there's not a lot of EV coming from that hand anyway, but like call flop, check turn, bluff river feels not terrible. I'm going to frequency call the 5s, going to call the 9-6. Gonna check this time. 5. I'm gonna check call 9-6 always. And turn. I'm going to have to bluff potentially some underpairs here, but not much. We're not betting a lot. So don't have to worry about it too hard. What's my end worth here? It's a weird river, actually. I kind of like just a lot of block. I don't want to make the pot too big. And the thing is, if we block and then get raised, we can just snap. So I think I like this. Do I need to bluff? Do I need to bluff? Do I need to bluff? Yeah, and I just don't bet very much here. Yeah, I don't see the need to bluff here. Because like I might not even want to bet an ace on that river. Probably struggling to always do it, but it does feel kind of, that's a really bad river. Right, a little bit deeper with Mr. Gold here, but not deep enough where my strategy shifts too much from just polar. My hand obviously can check to do like check, call, check, raise stuff. But again, we roll low, so it goes in the bet. I'm using my RNG a lot, but like we'll obviously mention that. I think like only using RNG if you kind of understand where your hands want to go. Like there's no point in RNG if you don't know what the plan is. In the other lines, essentially. So if you don't know what to do when you check with a certain hand, and you feel like you're being in a tough spot, just stick it in the line which you know is like a good rule of thumb for kind of not beginners, but like, you know, more stakes players a lot of the time. Just do the simple stuff, and then once you get a little bit more adept, should we say, at kind of range construction and what the plan is with certain hands, you can start mixing it up more. I can't see any reason I would bet this hand. I don't really see why I would. Mono boards, I mean, I am yet to come up with anything overly concrete on a mono board. There's always just a lot of merging going on. Not a lot of money going into the middle as a general rule. Prioritizing improving, so give me pocket twos with a spade over this. Even though pocket twos with a spade is technically a stronger hand. Pocket twos with a spade over... But every hand has a draw, doesn't it? Get the picture. Let's frequency 3-bet 8-7. I've got aces again. There's 2 recreationals in the pool. Big recreationals. Give me a squeeze. These are 2 like VIPs, so we're gonna check to them and see how much money they stick in. That's a good start. And I'm going to call the 8-7. A very good start. I'm going to raise. I don't need to. Usually I would only raise small. Yeah, multi-way, but I don't really care. I'm just going to raise big. They're both whoppers, and we're going to stick the money in. Worst flop I could have seen, that one, isn't it? And there is probably not a turn I don't shove on. Really dry turn as well. Yeah. Let's go all in. Why fuck around? How dead am I? Okay. Alright. We're back. Let's go B40 and bet this sometimes. Vic, hello, mate. Only 8. I can't remember what I said 8 about. But hello. Oh, buy-ins. Rookie numbers. Yeah. Well, it's less now. We've won a few back. I'm gonna mix and check in with a sec because like all of a sudden, we have good hands and we're not getting shown the nuts. Who knew? Gonna be a fantastic stream to watch me Ristucco it. All right. Hands worth about that. Not masses more than it. So we could overbet ourselves. It's a flush complete in river, and generally I'm not going to want to play much overbet, so I'm going to put it into a block, get into raise, and then snap him off. Quite an easy one to find raises on that river as well. We've got the king, triple king board. Not one I've studied, but I'd imagine it's pretty good for me. We have identical stack sizes, look. Yeah. Stay tuned, everyone, because as I say, I don't have to go out until about 6:30. Play footy. And I have nothing else to be doing in terms of work schedule today, so I'm in. I've got buy-ins to recoup. What are we on? 2 hours, 5 minutes. I'll give it 5 minutes and then I'm going to go make a drink. Something I like to do kind of every hour, actually, is when I do grind, especially if I'm going to be sitting here for another 3.5 hours. Try to take breaks on the hour. You know, like they do in tournaments. It's like, you know, you get 5 minutes at the end of the hour. Lot to be said for that. Like, my ability to play long sessions is increased dramatically. When I have a 5-minute break every hour. If I try to just sit down for 5 hours straight and don't move, I won't be able to do it, and my brain will actively hurt. But you know, have a break, step away from the screen, go do something else for 5 minutes, then come back. You do come back feeling refreshed. Quite good. This is obviously not an amazing turn. We face a lead, which I guess you can, but it's flush. If it was a 9 of spades, then yeah, all day. But when it's flush complete and I've only bet small, not so much. My hand obviously shrugs and calls. There's no real need to raise. There's no need to do anything other than call. Weird river. I mean, we don't have a particularly good hand to face aggression with here at this point. It's also a river where I like make my hand a lot. So call the 8-7, check the queen 6. So I think we're very much okay folding for that. And here we are going to call. Like, when I have a suited connector, can I please just not get the absolute turbo worst lockdown board? Give me a backdoor. Give me something to defend. We have to be so careful here in terms of our bluffs as an overall guideline. He hits this very hard, and I do just have like so much trash here. Also a board where it's like, I think people overprotect. I've been proven wrong there by him showing the hand that he has. But I'm usually a pretty big advocate in these, like, you know, super broken lines for being quite aggressive, but these ace-high lockdown boards, having seen the data, people defend a lot better on them than if the board was, say, 9-8, 6, 3, 2, we say. Hmm, 10-3, eh? I'm gonna throw in a little defend here. Plus 11 buy-ins today, so started drinking at 12, felt reasonable. I don't have any beers in, otherwise I might join you. Also, I've got to go run around later, so I can't. But if I had 10-5, I would raise this. I think 10-3 sucks too. But yeah, I think treating yourself to a beer or two after losing 11 buy-ins is entirely justified, my friend. So treat yourself. Who knows? I might be down 11 buy-ins. I don't know. I've not checked, but it's safe to say we're down quite a few. What do I bluff here? This can't be bad as a bluff. It can't be great as a bluff, but it can't be bad as a some kind of frequency. This is one of those I don't know moments. If this is the button, still feel shit. But I hate myself for folding, but I'm going to. I just think it's such a good board for him, and the ranges are so tight, or tighter from the cutoff. Right, I'm going to call a 4-bet with King 10. This is one I can definitely fold. And should fold at some frequency, obviously, but it's a 0 EV call. Now then, this is a strange board. Once again, it's going to be difficult not to get stacked here. Okay, face quarter pot. I don't think we want to do much raising. I mean, in these 4-bet pots, if you just face quarter pot with range, you kind of just call anyway. Maybe we make a royal. Wouldn't that be good? So we're going to see a river. I would like to see the ace of clubs, the 9 of clubs, any club, or a king or a 10, I guess. Preferably a king. I'm going to check call here. I'm going to fold here. He checks. I do. Checks is strange. What do I reopen the action with here? He doesn't check, so it makes life easier. Show down the ace 10. Yeah, we're going to call and we... weird having 2 pair and having a draw, but yeah. We're going to need to get there. Had the board, but the wrong one. His turn size shouldn't really be set. This is a pretty okay catcher for what it's worth. Like, again, low roll, I can throw this in, right? Not a lot, but I'll throw it in. I have to bluff now, don't I? This is absolute stone bottom of my range. Christ alive. Yes, we got one! Come on, the boys! Oh dear, what? I wonder what he had. It's mad, isn't it, that I have to bluff that hand at that point, but what else do I have to bluff with? Mr. Skeen, good luck, good luck. Good luck to yourself, mate. I see you. You might have left the pool now, but I've seen you in the pool. I hope you're doing well. Maxim is right. Fucking A, see, I should learn. Okay, if you're from Ukraine, I should learn Ukrainian. Fuck the Russians then, I guess, yeah. What exploits for big blind reg who 3-bets less and linear? Should we 4-bet more size from the small blind and tighter? And big blind reg who 3-bets a lot of 6-7 and stuff like that. So, okay. A big blind reg who 3-bets less and more linear, you open much wider is the first thing to do. If you open at any hand, blind on blind, but any hand blind on blind, the worst thing that's going to happen to the vast majority of your hands in terms of their win rate is you face a 3-bet. All right, it's the worst thing that's going to happen. Best thing that's going to happen for the vast majority of hands in your range is you get a fold. So someone who gives you the worst case scenario, getting 3-bet, less often, means you can open more hands. So that's your first thing, just open more. Now, when you do get 3-bet, right, from someone who's obviously 3-betting more linear and 3-betting less, the next thing to do is just to overfold, right? So, it's... fuck me. 4-bet ranges. Got 5s in it, is it? I'll see 3 then. Not a terrible 3. Again, the money is going in. So that's the first thing. So just open wider and fold more to the 3-bet. Is a pretty good rule of thumb. I'll answer the second part of the question once I turn a flush. Okay. I've seen worse. Hard to be unhappy. Bit more unhappy now. We'll survive. Should we 4-bet? Okay, so should we 4-bet bigger? Yeah, I mean, someone who's got a more linear 3-betting range, you generally should 4-bet bigger as well. You'll often see in like GTO Wizard, like if someone 3-bets to 10, the GTO Wizard sort of size is 21. Because you think about it, if they're 3-betting very polar and they're 3-betting like King 6 offsuit, you obviously don't need to 4-bet very big to generate loads of folds. If someone's 3-betting like 9, that indicates they're 3-betting more linear, and then you'll often see the size is like 22.5, right? And that makes sense as well, because you need to 4-bet a little bit bigger to generate folds from a more linear range, right? So if you do 4-bet, then yes, 4-betting bigger versus a more linear range is going to be better. But the key thing is just open wider and fold tighter, and you won't do too bad. We need to call for bigger, funnily enough, here, because we're 150 deep. So I guess 25 seems good. If you find a jam, fuck. 140 bigs. What is the range that does this? I guess kings and ace king. Need 40%. God knows if I get that. Problem is we get it. It depends how much ace king there is. That's just the logic of this here. It depends how much ace king there is in this range. My instinct from this player is that it's always in there. So I'm going to call and get shown the bad news. Good one to kind of run that one, actually. There's another buy and off, but I think that is the question, essentially, like how much ace king offsuit basically is in there. And honestly, I think it's always in there with this character. So then if that's the case, if it's pure ace king off and kings and aces, then I think we can quite comfortably call. Doing a rough calculation in my head, basically. I'm just going to call the 7s here, keep the fish in. But obviously getting shown kings and losing is horrendous. Could check raise. Want to check raise kind of big here. Yeah, it's okay. It's not top of the list, but okay. I do need to go make a drink in a second. This is a bit of a nothing size, but what do you think? So turn, we're not going to put any money in. Gut shots are shit here. Going to bluff 2x. Going to bluff flush draws. Going to bluff higher equity shit, basically. For big blind. Fuck me. Alright, I mean, I guess. Actually quite a good turn. Gonna check here. Not a range bet. And that's a really bad river. Just gonna have to give up a lot. Gonna mix in quite a decent amount of bet and check on the turn. Like, this is a good one to check again. With top pair here, not a lot of bad things happen when you check back twice. Don't get the chance. Pretty easy call. This is like 140 or whatever that is. It's not, or 125. It's not really anywhere near indifferent yet with a king. How it is. I would obviously very much like to have a club at this point. Sixes. I mean, that's good news. I'm tempted to bluff this off. Don't rep too much though. Kind of high in my range. I might have some showdown here. Do have some showdown here actually. On that with it. Right, just gonna sit out. I'm just gonna go make myself a drink, and then we will continue. See you in 2 minutes. Oh, right, we're back. Mr. Celebrity, I told you he always has it. Why did I not listen? I had Queens, mate, and I thought it's Gervais King always. That would be why. Right, I'm just gonna have a pepperami. Good gear, this, by the way. And let's try again. That's a good board for my hand. I want to do this. I'm gonna go small. Back office raise. Okay. If you tagged as a recreational, I'm not actually convinced. Malta's usually a reg. Let's see what you do. Okay. Quick chat, not weird one. Good check again. Good shove. Good fun. Yeah, fuck you. Deal with it. Rates are kind of the same in both ranges here, right? Maybe not the same. I probably have a less, but I'm okay with this size. Not considerable. How good a pepper? And it's pretty good bluff. It remains not a bad one. But we do have to proceed with caution. It's not like we can just pure everything. I don't think, anyway. Let me think about that. It's close. But there shouldn't really have that many bluffs like this. Maybe I can go a bit more than 60% of it. We do still need a lot of check. I mean, don't get me wrong. Timing check. Oh, what a weird spot. Problem is not, again, it's not a great river for me. I kind of have boats only and the occasional trap straight. Not a lot of else. Not a lot of other shit. And he has a lot of everything. How does it give up on? Not pure bluff jack high here. Never horrendous. I would naturally half pot. Tab size on that Dynamica board. I would probably go that on the turn and that might. Again and hope for a 10, I guess, or 3's not the worst. So we kind of just shrug and call versus block. Bigger will be indifferent. Done. Good session for the viewers to watch this one, to be honest. Just fucking see what it's like calling rivers that you're supposed to call. Being shown the worst hand all the time. The best hand all the time. This is the game. And this is the game. You kind of just have to power through. Because believe it or not, I feel like I'm playing good stuff. Ace 10. Read that. Queen Jack, mainly call. Carve out a leading range, yeah. Really quite a lot on this. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I can see things happening here. My hand selection. So I think we just get to block really wide here. And therefore, whilst it's not a great hand, it's not the worst hand. What do you do with King, Queen, King, Jack, Ace, Jack? Facing. I think Ace Jack's. In fact, Ace Jack always does call actually, but or a backdoor wheel draw. But I've rivered a Jack. I value bet. I think I can. I'm gonna check here. It's about as thin of a value bet as you could imagine. Hence, I'm going 10%. The good news is you never need to protect a 10% bet with a lot of nut. I still want to put 0 money in here with 10-6. Million gazillion bad rivers, and my hand's not that strong to me. Still don't really know if you're a reg or a recreational. But I still don't really want to put any money in, guys. Yeah, it's just a check. Right. Delighted to check as well. Imagine flopping 2 pair and checking it down, but like that's just not texture. And on the river as well. Mr. Gold is someone who will punish me with check. Excuse me, check raise there. And it's not like he just shrugs and calls that kind of hand all that much. Obviously, an offsuit 3, we stick him 3/4 pot, no worries, but. Jack 5. So, again, another kind of, like, we could polarize here. I tend to just default to 40%. My hand plays lovely as a check call, maybe some check raise. This one, we will go big. On a 3-bet. Can check again. This is a good hand to bet. Good hand to check as well. I don't mind checking again. Now our hand's worth load, so we could check raise. We do block checks a lot here. I should really like a check raise here. We get raised. We're gonna 3-bet sometimes and sometimes. Yeah. Because I've got like 10s, jacks, queens, all of which, and 9x of clubs especially, that just kind of shrug and stack off at this point. So there's a bluff. It ain't terrible. You got that. Well, it's better than having jacks. Nope. Tell you what is happening? I'm like, I'm losing every hand. Did you check back? That's a flush. FS. So again, a mono board, just passivity. Check raise. Check call. That's an above average flop. I'm gonna play big bets here. Throw in a check as well. And we just go check, call, check, raise most of the time here. Then yeah, just call. Nothing bad's gonna happen yeah, so We can call here. We're going to go 2/3 and we're going to bet most of the time. Yeah, versus every size. We just go all in. Here, we're just going to overbet. Here, bet more. Not with this one. Strong hand. All in. Overbet. And oh, I completely missed it. There was a boat there, actually. What do I do here? It's a hard thing to kind of consider what I'm making indifferent. Think really big. Like, if you've got King 10, you struggle versus that. It's insane how I've lost 2 out of 3 of those hands. Obviously, just running in the second nuts into the nuts is subpar. This one, I genuinely just misread the board. So, that's on me. Still have a bet, because he's not got masses of King X. It's close, actually. Okay. So call. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I've not been pumped like this for quite some time. Then again, I don't play masses of 200 Zoomers kind of the main game, but yeah, wow. I think we must be 10 buy-ins now. Hey. So by leading, you're kind of saying you have a 4. We want to lead. I'm gonna mainly bet queens check. Gonna check all here. Start. I'm going to raise some flushes. Never horrendous. Keep betting here. Get raised here. Just going to call more than 3 bet. A hand that doesn't have a lot of protection. Yeah, so we're just trying to stack 4-5 or whatever here. Queens is going to shrivel quite dramatically at the point, but we're going to call again. Pure with the overpair, the good overpair as well. But it's not great. That's horrific, that river. It's there a million times over. Oh yeah, we're stone indifferent. Actually rolled a fold this time. This is one of those though where I think it's genuinely really hard to have bluffs. I think if he has like something like 5-3, that might be the bluff. More than say an ace-4, but I'm okay folding it. Actually rolled a fold, look. Max, is it true that most are nits in the pool? No, I wouldn't say that. Depends what you quantify as a nit, really. People are generally under-aggressive in... If you were to aggregate all spots, people are under-aggressive, but people are over-aggressive in the more common spots. But like triple barrels, people are actually over aggressive a lot of the time. But like check flop, check turn, bet river, people are wildly under aggressive. This is a hand that likes small bets. This is a hand that is quite good, and I can probably just range bet this. Cold caller. Bad. 10% this. Kind of like, actually. Navigate my way to showdown here. Facing the raise. Basically, if you shut your eyes and imagine we just checked and then faced the 2/3 pot, we'll defend very similarly. Tens sucks. We're gonna jam sometimes. We could have a leading range here. I think if we had king jack with a king of spades, we can bluff. I need a spade really, but a plus hand for us to get in. A queen fold just folds. This is like so bleak, by the way. Like on every level, this is really, really gross. He should check a lot here. This might be actually quite easy to overdo. In terms of bluffs. But yeah, the tens hand there, like it's obviously really whatever. You can jam it in, not strictly speaking value. Strictly speaking a bluff, it's kind of just a jam of the time. The king jack's a fun one. Throwing in a little bit of a 10%. Happens more than a lot of people realize. King 8 will call. Jack 4 we will raise. Just kind of a way of avoiding indifference a lot of the time. Like raise happens less than bet, so kind of the logic. We do have a raising candidate. I think this is one of those where we could be pretty aggressive actually. Raise. To blast the fuck out of it quite a lot here. We can see better king eye board. But we can raise over pairs and bomb it basically and go after pairs, single pair hands here. This is actually one of those where I don't overbet. It's a really good turn. Just a lot of b75 here. And obviously potentially some check. Good bluff raise. What is that lead size? I guess bluff, in fact, because I would play tens as a value hand this way, and then it becomes a bluff now. So I guess I can just fold this and not have to worry too hard. We can just b25 a lot here. Like tens and jacks are value hands, and obviously jack tens are pretty big problem. This doesn't feel overly theory approved to me. Another one for a 10% here for queens. Now, defend your ace highs, defend your underpairs. Fine to me. Allows us to get a bit more value. And we'll 10% again. Might even argue for block, actually, as in like 25 here. Yeah, kind of like bigger. Don't mind throwing this in. Yeah, I think B25 is about what my hand's worth here. Like if we had ace 10, that's a bit more 10%, I think. Very underrated, that. We get min-range fold. And yeah, facing the 2/3 lead here, obviously saying he has a 6, but you have to be very cautious of the fact that, like, hey, if I'm going to bluff raise the flop, Jack 10's one of the first hands. I'll blast the turn with Jack 10 a lot, and then I river it. And I've got all the offsuit combos and suit combos, potentially at least. So, like, I feel like you do have to be quite cautious here. But also, like, reacting to this. Sure, I have a Jack in my hand, but I think, like, because I would play Jacks and 10s this way really often, and those hands are kind of very indifferent versus the bet, those are better bluffing candidates on the river than a hand that's kind of just Jack high, stone loser at the end of the day. But also maybe make the argument the 4's not a great card to have. Like 4 of clubs or 7-4 of clubs are hands that could take this line as a bluff. Whereas it's hard to take this line as a bluff with a 10. Have any. Or you have less, let's say. Queen 10 calls. Mr. Edmund Fitzgerald, hello, buddy. Hope you're doing well and you're winning all of the money. Been too long. Queen 10, I guess check. Not gonna lie, I am very low morale currently. Very, very, very low morale. So we get check back flop, check back 10. We can play quite a lot of block here. Is not going to be horrendous. Go for the 10s. Going for you, Finland. Not sure if it's a rec or not. Gonna assume if I don't know them, they'll be recreational and play it kind of as such. Gonna mix bets here. And kind of a polarizing hand there. Usually I would check a lot to a recreational here, but I think I just have the magic fast play hands. That could bluff the turn here. Probably should like bluff really often here actually. Gonna go this one. I guess block. And hard to have bluffs, not that it will matter, but aces mainly will jam actually. But I can throw in some that number. For God's sake. I do have flushes. There's not many. Am I too high in my range? Necessarily. Check. Oh, I'll lounge you. Hmm. Time out here. I should just play a lot of jam. I don't see bad things happening from call though. So this Gross hand on them. God, like, because its driven range here is just right and boat. Okay. Alright, we got one. Does he shove ace queen? Strange hand. One of those I wish I had a bit more time. Then again, even if I had more time, I'd be very unsure. Perhaps a really narrow. I mean, the only real question here is if he has ace queen, does he shove it in? I'm going to raise flop here. Rather large with ace 5. Better turns. Right, just going to play b25 relatively often here. Our range. Very, very good one. And could do some check to check raise. Generally just a lot of depolar betting here. We make a lot of flush. That's control. Value bet. We get raised small. I think I'm going to actually, because I think if I do have a flush here, I kind of want to fast play quite a lot of it, and I'm going to bluff a hand, like magic hand. Yeah. Oh, that's not. Facing jam, I guess we're priced in. 9, 18, me, or 18%, I think. Yeah, lots of depolar and bet more often than not here. A fun though. And good overbet. Option number 1. Option block. Go block. I'm gonna just bluff always. Mainly overbet, but some block is good. I guess I can mix. Weird one, but that's how well. And you need to cheer me up, Pint. Cheer me up or cheer you up? All in all, mate, I'm doing very well, apart from getting stuffed here, but doing very well overall. But yes, we should get a pint in soon. Could maybe raise sometimes here. We'll call this time, and we're gonna call here. You're in Lewisham. I don't really know where Lewisham is. Is it south? Have you moved in with the fiance then? Take it. Do I need to defend 10-9? I can't imagine I do. Feels close, actually. Right, the turn. No, I'm going to raise Jack 8. I'm going to raise 6-8. It is a decent enough candidate, actually. The bluff raise here. I do turn a lot of straights. I do have okay equity. And maybe like maybe something with an 8 is better, and I don't have to find a lot of raise here. Yeah, I think I'll just raise an 8. I think like if I have 10-8, that's just got more equity than the hand I have. I don't think we want leads on a flush completing river. 7s will frequency defend. You win the hand. 7. That's a weird board. We get shown 2 pair, yeah. Get lucky. I don't think this is a board you should check. Ever. Or bet pot. But what does that? I am going to start stabbing this flop and blasting it off sometimes. Maybe throw in some 3-bets with the A7, but like less than 10% in order to see. So 10s makes its hand. Got flushes. Got flushes more than you. I think I'm just going to continue to be wildly aggressive here with the 7s. And ace 7 could potentially check raise. Yeah. I think I might be all in, guys. Rolled the number. It's probably not quite pure. But it's about as good as a shove I could come up with here, so good luck us, I guess. That's a snap then, isn't it? We are going to check call a lot here. I feel like no one does that and then folds. But I'm very happy with this bluff. Very, very cool one. Go. This one... Yeah, should unblock all the bluffs. Pretty okay catcher, all things considered. Gonna check call here, going to call here. But yeah, delighted with the 7s, as I say, you kind of have to work very hard to bluff enough here. As I say, it's hard to get someone to fold a set that they've checked on the flop, but we will try. We did try. Check call, could check raise sometimes here, but bad. Going to predominantly check call here, that's good hand. With a bet. Not going to get raised too much here, so I think we just do it ourselves. Could obviously check raise, but I don't think we're going to face a lot of bet. Yes, just overbet. The Jack 10 here, this is very cuspy, but probably raise. More raise do here. Problem is I just get bet called by the kind of hands I'm going after. Don't think we want to fold. Now I might lead, because I do have like 8x non-zero amount that leads the river here. Then just folds his bluffs. It kind of feels pretty intuitive. I'm just going to fucking overbet here. Finding a bit of flow. Do get the bluff through. The Jack 10. For one as well. Yeah, it's always my theory here. Like it's not a bad call. Like he has to call quite wide here at the end of the day. He can't just call a 10, he has to call this stuff as well. I always just think as the thing with it is on the river is it's hard to have a set and then like mentally prepare yourself to fold a set in a 4-bet pot, but I think it's a frequency catcher anyway, so whatever. Difficult to know if he's RNG'd it or not. But as I say, as soon as someone wipes the tissues on their fucking own face, when you go all in, I just feel like you're never getting a fold at that point. 5-3, I guess, can go in some frequency here. It's not great. It's gonna go bet jack a lot, but it is a good board for us. Definitely a hand that could check here with king, queen, but also a hand that could overbet. Yes, southeast couple of months ago. Oh, very nice, mate. Super happy for you. A weird river. You bet. Do that. Very strange. A really good river for it. Don't really mind checking that. 10-8's a bit borderline. More than a bit borderline, I think. Each their own. 9-8. I don't love the fact it's a recreational-ish player who's snap 3-bet us. But if it is a recreational, I kind of want to be in the hand of them for when this. I'm going to check. Snap check. Big 3-bets quickly. Snap check. Kind of a lot of ace-king. So I'm just going to give him the chance to put some money in. That's not a turn where he's going to. The problem is now there's not really many rivers where he does put money in. So I'm kind of going to just go. Hope he does something daft. Snap call's good. Snap call is actually quite good. I'm going to shove because I've got a straight. He could have some aces or something. Maybe a 10. He might even hero ace king. A quick cold call over here. That's going to be quite indicative of strength. Very narrow mid-strength heavy range here. This guy has massive. Well, unfortunately, that's not a bad board for a narrow mid-strength heavy range. I'm going to check because of that. Even though my hand doesn't really love checking, but I'm going to respect the range which I think he has here. Now, a quick check on the turn is very good. So now it becomes a question of sizing. I don't see many downsides for just betting small. I'm going to throw in some 3-bet with King 5 and Island point. So pretty clear over bet. Not expecting this to be very strong, as in like strong stuff that beats me at least. A jack makes a lot of sense here. Pocket 8 makes a lot of sense. For that with our size, and we are going to bet much of the time. B40 does quite a lot here. Like we fold out a lot of king highs we're dominated by. We get called quite quickly, so that's just jack. Let's say queen jack, isn't it? Yes, got him. I've got 2 queens, but still called it. Lovely. I mean, that's not really a hand I would want to be calling that. Just a hand that, like, this is an original raiser in position. And the recreational plays shit multi-way anyway. You're out of position. You're against an uncapped range. It does not feel very good to be calling that to me. I guess check a lot with the ace-4. Have games been better since the Betfair merge? Honestly, I've not noticed anything, to be truthful. I really haven't, actually. Too weak to block this, so we're just going to check. Call. Size, isn't it? I mean, again, it's just like a unbelievably clean catcher. check here. So yeah, unblock bluffs, ace high checks down, blocks and value, blah blah blah. And block. Yeah. It's a weird one when they polarize the flop here. I think you just meant to play. Honestly, this is a spot I don't really understand. I'm gonna go block, but from a theoretical perspective, if someone polarizes the flop, polarizes the flop and then checks the turn, like you shouldn't really face this a lot. You shouldn't face a lot of aggression. I mean, my catch is so clean here. Shouldn't really be block folding top pair. I don't think it just feels like a value line, but super difficult to say. A Betfair merge is taking place at the end of the year. Ah, okay. I didn't know that. That's why I haven't noticed any difference. I get stabbed sometimes here. I think I'm actually going to stab bigger. I think this makes more sense. Because a pair's worth a lot more money. And by stabbing small, you're kind of almost saying you're stabbing king 10 suited as value. Doesn't feel that natural to me. It's a pretty good turn barrel. This is good. 3-bet candidate. Yeah, overbet, say we got a 3. Can be very aggressive on this turn. 5 does the job. Kind of 125, 125 for like a 3. Sense. I mean, that's interesting. If the Betfair merge happens at the end of the year, then I would expect stuff to increase. This is obviously dog shit. That's a really bad run out as well. Like, you know, check calling kings and aces makes sense. Like, we can't go too big here with a 3. You're gonna check call the flop with some flush draws. Yeah, the blockers are just absolutely awful here for me. So, king 2 will call. Yeah, what was I saying? Like, this spot here is one I genuinely don't quite yet have the understanding of in theory. Like a polar line that goes bet check. I'm not really sure how to construct my river range. Something for me to study and learn. Easy call here. Get another 10 out of 10 dog shit river. We could stab like very often. We win. Probably just very polar. And say we've got about. And our hand's awful, so we won't put any money in. Again, I'm going to B40 here. It's not a range bet, so I'm going to throw in a little bit of sneaky. The king jack. Not quite hitting my threshold for 3 streets all that much, so can go in there. I've got so much air here that I have to be careful, and his range is so ace high heavy that I'm going to be careful. King jack just calls. Actually, a good river for my hand. Kind of snap versus most sizes. Overbet becomes thresholdy. Export, yeah, threshold. The issue is here is I'm so fucking top of range. Not quite close. I'm gonna mix them. Yeah. The export's very unnatural, but then you just blasting it in too often. My issue is that I've got so few hands here to defend in my range that like I think I just need to shrug and call this. I might be pushing it with that. I might be able to get away from that. Tempted to call this, even though. Yeah, it's a difficult one. That is literally the size which puts me in the blender. Fair play to our opponent. We do obviously have tens. We do obviously have turn 2 pairs. Kind of obviously just snap. We don't have masses of this region, but I think I might have fucked it a little bit here. The kind of pure call the hand that probably isn't a pure call. And that could be psychological a little bit there, because it could just be a case of I've checked back the flop with a king, therefore I can't fold, you know? Might be a little bit of that in there. Max, do you want to mark a few interesting hands during the session, so to check it in GTO Wizard after the stream? Yeah, I kind of just do this on my own. Sometimes I'll mark the hands in here, but like whenever I review a session, I just go through, all I got to do is go into the database, pull it up, and then have a look. There's a million interesting hands that I can go through. A lot of it, as I say, a lot of it here is the spin thresholds. That one, I think genuinely that one is the one hand where I'm probably the most unhappy with that I can remember this session so far. Because I just think I think that one here is a little bit of a mental leak that just I've checked back the flop and then I don't think I can fold, because I do think versus 2x pot a jack is a really terrible card to have as well. Like if I have king fall, then fair enough, but I think I should be just folding here. And I couldn't bring myself to. I do have problems with Betfair. If you're closed from them or restriction problems, the same rules will apply once Stars moves to Betfair. Yeah, no, I have an account. I think it got KYC'd a little while ago. I mean, I'll just keep Stars account about that. I've got a weird double gutter here. I could raise here. I'm going to, you know. Because if I do check back the flop and then I do turn something here, this is kind of like the semi-dynamic turn where like I can fast play some hands. Just got complaint to email confirming my Stars account will close once they move to Betfair. Confirmation that my Stars account will close and not allowed on Betfair after. God, weird. I would hope it doesn't happen to me. I mean, I don't have a closed Betfair account, to be fair. I have an open Betfair account. I don't think I need to worry too hard, but who knows. And obviously, I've played on Stars pretty much every day for donkey's years, so I imagine I would have any problems. They did an email, didn't they, about like closing inactive accounts and things like that. I'm sure I read some, browsed through and read something like that. Yeah, call turn with ace queen. Do I want to raise here with ace 7? This feels cuspy. I could call. It's again cuspy. But I mean, again, this is just not the river you want to see. I would just show this down. I've got so many flushes as well. I'm gonna bluff it on that river. Yeah, nothing to be done here. So if he checks, we bluff. If he bets, we fold. Relatively easy. It's very close on the flop. It's also very close on the turn. I mean, the good news is on the turn I do have ace high, so like I need blocks, so I need to defend really often anyway. But yeah, Swindon, that is not amazing news. Not gonna lie. For you personally, definitely, but also just in general. More uncertainty in an uncertain world. Certain game, but we move, don't we? We're adaptable. Anyway, let's keep going. Morale is very low. Really is low at this point, but I'm powering through. It's a good test of the old mental game, this one. Tens we call, aces we 3-bet. 10. Guys, I've got 4 of them. I saw an Easty video. An Easty clip the other day where he's got, I've got 4 9s. I have 4 9s, and I found it very funny. I've got 4 10s, and I'm going to proceed with a call on the flop. That might be quite a good turn. It might be quite a shit turn. There becomes a question if he checks. I feel like if he checks, I'm going to fast play. If he bets, we just obviously keep calling. This is a strange size, I'm not going to lie. The annoying thing is here, I'm going to Hollywood the life out of it because I think this is bluff size. Just based on, I mean, purely based on the fact I've got 2 10s. It's a size for a 10, it's not really a size for an ace. So I think it's full of shit. The annoying thing is that I think he just gives up the river. But so, I mean, if he fires in ace king here, I think it's a radical overplay, but he does, and we win. That is a radical overplay for what it's worth. I'm not having that. 2s, 5, and just always bet. Yeah, I'm not having that one. Like, cut off versus big blind. To go bet jam, ace king for 250 bit or 125 bigs is quite outrageous, not going to lie. I don't see the need to trap 2s here. Gonna game bet Hollywood and then raise. Would be a nice one to win a stack. Point, give me some momentum. I could bet sometimes, yeah. I might call. Okay, so if we do that, a 10 is indifferent. The downside is, does he shove a 4? Should 3-bet 4, really. If we shove, we're going after a 4. I feel like you should just 3-bet a 4. Can he bluff jam a 10? Maybe. I'm gonna go this. I can value bet a queen. Like, you should, like, if you block turn, you know, lead turn, I think you should leave 3-bet your 4x majority of the time. I've missed maybe a bet here, but okay. Or he just stations it off with jack 10, and that's fine by me. Right, we continue. Gonna mix in some check with a king 7. Might be able to check. I was gonna say might be able to even check raise sometimes. Mainly check call turn. That's a fast play turn. Yeah, I think I get to be really aggro here with a king now. So 2 over bets. He's going to be rather good a lot of the time. Yeah, I don't know. That nice to get paid with quads. That feels like a massive overplay. Like, I don't think you should be thinking stacks when you've got ace king there. I really fucking don't. I think it's too weak. For me, if you half pot the flop and the ace comes on the turn, it feels like block. About what your hand's worth there. This feels like it's way too much. We just fold. Swindon, I think just be careful. Betfair will only allow 500 a month onto the site. If you want more, they want full bank statements. Yeah, I know I've been there. Gambling team don't have a clue how poker actually works. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm unsure of how it's going to work. Obviously, stars I can get money on quite easily overall, but also like there's player transfers on stars, which really great way of navigating getting money on a lot of the time. So I don't know. Really don't know. I'm sure there'll be an announcement beforehand. So we can wait and see. You know, and if it does die a death because can't get money on, there are other sites to play on. Finally, I might have to go play on fucking GGA. Find a way to well, grind out bad beat jackpots and God knows what. I mean, I play on ACR anyway, which is I don't see that changing anytime soon. Probably the biggest risk with ACR going under is they go under because they're dodgy. I don't know. Same goes for coin. Failing all of that, I'll go play live. There's always ways and means. I'm gonna have a brief 5-minute break in a second. Yeah, we'll do it next time. I like to go to the toilet. I'm gonna 3-bet this dude. I'm gonna 3-bet this dude, and I'm gonna go call this dude. Right, gonna float the flop. I wonder if I can have a raise and range here. Okay. Pull the turn. If we checks, do we bet the turn? My instinct says yeah. A weird one, because I've got a lot of ace-x and got a lot of underpairs. I don't think it's quite 3/4. I think it's like half pot here. I think my hand makes a pretty okay bet. Obviously, it's an okay check as well. A lot of queen X. It's just a dog shit hand to bluff again, isn't it? I think just kind of low shit here. Give me fucking 6, 7 of spades, and no worries. I'll fire that in all day long. Yeah, got to give up some stuff here. It's not a bluff every bluff spot. Right, be right back. Ah! Oh, right. Continue. Can you believe I've only like there's only 2 hours um left until I actually have to finish grinding it out. Why have I put my headphones back in? I don't need that. Can get you on WPT Global if you're ever interested. I saw one of my students was playing on there and sent me a live play. It looks fucking mad. All games are straddles. Yeah, I mean, oh, not a bad thing. Let's call. But yeah, no immediate plans for that just yet, but maybe in the future. Who are you? Start with that. Such as a theme for today, that's not a turn. I'm overly happy to see. I guess check's fine. Snap check is good. We can check call versus B75. I block his checks. Yeah, I like this. Gonna bluff here. Or I do have some hands here which can 250 actually, so I'm gonna go for this. Go. Jack 7. Like when the flop goes check check, turn goes check check here, like I will play like a lot of ace jack in the checking line, jack 8, like 2 pair. This is like a 2 pair sort of size here. And I can. So yeah, cut-off point for today's session is in and around 2 hours time. But we've been going for 3.5, which is good, isn't it? I've lost every hour I've played so far, but there's still time. Oh, like massive whopper, aren't you? But very difficult for me to do anything. So well, I'm looking forward to having a run around. Gonna check everything. Do one cheeky street in a second. Then I'll be close here. Frequency. Maybe just pure fold. Right, that's not a terrible board. We will want to play V75 a lot, and we'll bet a lot. We'll throw in some check. We will now with Ace King. We could check raise or check call. Stabs. Gonna throw in a check raise, less than 25% of the time. Benefit here is some merging effects, like we're gonna fold some better. I get called by some work. This is a bluff later on. Lead here could raise. Not the turn. No more money goes in now. That's a pretty horrific turn. Roll. Two overs shrivel considerably. Pretty hard one to protect on this, actually. Shove is bullshit, to be honest. There aren't many hands there that want to shove. For me. You can punish so much my range with just a small size there. Shove just feels a bit bollocks. We could 4-bet this sometimes. Mainly call low. 3-bet this. Pretty off. Actually, that's a lie. We're a bit more cautious. And gonna call this time. Queen could argue for some bad. Gonna polarize here and jacks. Facing another bet, we can play jam. Worst. Yeah, it's a pretty clean one. Not great, of course, but ain't folding, and as far as a bluff jam goes, it's not the worst thing I've ever done. There shouldn't really be a snap fold in his range either for me. I'm not having this guy. I'm so not having this guy. Jacks does still feel like it needs to call here. Can't just call an ace. Should be a very polar range. Really a size I would expect to see. I think a queen's worth more, so why not bet more? Pretty comfortable fold though. Oh, quads again. I'm not going to bluff this time. If I have 10s and 9s there, value bets. And if I want to go big. I don't think people check raise a jack, but balls. Flush. Max ace. Hang on. I see your 3-bet sizes are more linear. Is it because of people under 4 betting? Not really. This close. 26 isn't really big enough. Folding, I don't think. I swear, if I call another 4-bet with one of these sort of connectors and just like stone miss, I'm gonna lose my mind. Nah, it's just there isn't a particular rhyme or reason to it, to be honest. Like you can go polar, you can go more linear. Pick your poison is too much. There's no huge in-depth reason behind it, to be honest. It doesn't really matter to your win rate. Wouldn't it be better to bum hunt instead of Regfest Doom 200? Regfest, is it? There's 18 people in the pool. One of them is a VIP and one of them is a recreational. It's not the worst. I mean, generally, I don't just sit here and play 200 NL. I tend to play more 200 Zoom. I tend to just play reg tables. I might mix in 200 Zoom when it's quieter. And yeah, table selection is important, granted. But for the sake of a stream, I wouldn't give a shit, to be honest. I'll play whoever's playing 200 Zoom. It doesn't really matter. Back myself to have a win rate in these games despite what's happened today. That's just a call. This is could do some blocking. All here. No, I wouldn't. As I say, I wouldn't say having played this stream for 3 hours and 40 minutes. Like, there's been a million recreational. I've quietened down a little bit at the minute, but you can go play other sites. Like, you can go play GG, and there will undoubtedly be more recreationals, but then you just lose to the rake. So it's always kind of mitigated. Like, you can, as I say, you can play in higher rate games with more recreationals, like on GG. But then, as I say, you're just losing infinite big blinds more to the rake. So you got to weigh up both. And it's not. And the thing is, as well, like, you know, the regs who would play these kind of games, like, of course they're regs, and most of these are pros, but it's not like they don't have leaks either. You know, like, if you go, because I did this, funnily enough, you go look at your win rate, your win rates, win rates at least, over, when did I do it last? I had 600,000 hands that I went over. Like, I think a third of those hands were at tables that just had regs on them. And I have a win rate there. Not as big as a win rate as as I have when there's a recreational there, of course. But you know, the main reason for playing somewhere like Stars is the rake is lower than it is elsewhere. So you know, your edge doesn't need to be as big. King 7 with a heart should be okay. Just about calling. I always just think like you know, look, table selection is important. You would like to play in good games, right? That much is true. But there is, I think a lot of people have this sort of like mental block or fear, if you want, of playing in games that, you know, like this at the minute, which is a little bit more reg heavy than it's been so far today. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be playing in here. And I mean, if you're not generating a win rate, then maybe not. But yeah, it's online poker in 2026. Like, you know, you're going to be playing in reg heavy games, but the regs are beatable just like everyone else's. Just a question of how much for. This just shows down. This can value that now, and this will call this time. But like, if you never play in a tough lineup, I think it's more of a, you know, there's a mental block there. And it depends on your goals at the end of the day. Do you just want to have the biggest win rate at small stakes and big stakes? Or do you want to go higher than that? And sometimes you know, being able to battle it out with some regs is very beneficial for your win rate overall. Now we can actually check raise here. Or we can overbet. We block the checks pretty hard. But we've rolled an overbet, so we'll go with that. 7 will call. I think it's fine. Not a good board for the 3-better. Good turn. This is a board is very easy to overdo the C-bets on because this is a horrific board. I could actually maybe lead here. But yeah, table select where you can, of course. But sometimes don't be afraid to battle it out. There's another recreational. Close. I could call and lead, which does have some EV here. Not on that river. By blocking here. Probably just. Not great. This bad river. I am really low down. I just never need to defend this. Right, another one where we could overbet. We could check. Well, it's kind of in between, like B75 and overbet here. Because it's counterfeited, I think it's more B75. Leans me more towards either just doing that or checking. Bet calling. But mainly bet, I think. Can have some really big sizes for a 2. Okay. Are you in contact with Cruiser? How is he? I've known about you from a mutual video in the past. Not spoken to him for a long time, actually. So I couldn't tell you specifically how he is, but I've got him on Discord. He's only a message away. I know he's been like kind of intermittent with YouTube and stuff like that, and I know he's had to, because of his country restrictions, play on GG. But an all-round very good guy. I haven't spoken to him for a while. Just blocking here because I think it fucks ace high so hard. I could jam. First thing that. What on earth do you have here? I'm a bit spooked by this. Still gonna jam, but I don't really know what's going on. I don't think it's strong. Put it that way. I mean, as I say, if I don't think it's strong, then I may as well jam. Not. That's not the river. It's not the river to have a leading range on. I've just folded out your king X on the turn. Like, you give me king 6 off. Yeah, I've just rivered it. Like, I don't know what we're doing. Overbets. I can go really big here, actually. I can find this. We might not make it to 6 o'clock because my brain's starting to be fried here, but. Really is starting to be fried, actually. I can feel it. So I might just do another 15 minutes here. I can feel the fatigue. We will fold. many hands have we played? Only 1800. We're going to call predominantly. Oh, you love a free bet, don't you? Okay. Doing that. I'm going to start bluffing the 10-8 now. Depolarize the ace-4. Bet loads. Right. Brother, what are you saying you've got? I could call, obviously. A bit worried it's just a rando 8. Please. Yeah, okay.